Well, good morning, everybody. Make sure we got our everything going here. Hope you all are well this morning. We are running a little late, so excuse us as we get everything ready for the noontime devotions. So we just gotta turn this light on. You got the sound okay here? Right tone. Audio testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 3. There it is. Okay. 57 light. I kind of like having all the lights on. Maybe we can turn this one off too. Just keep that. All right. I think that'll do her. Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Moontime Devotions. We're back with an unofficial in between seasons episode, test 2. You know, against corporate's wishes, we've heard from the viewers. We heard from you guys that you guys appreciate this version of Moontime Devotions even more than the other official episodes, and so I took it on my own interest to come on here and film an in-between season episode. Anyway, and so here we are, 4:30 in the morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Shine, shine, rise. Happy, smell the sunshine, flowers. Oh, the wind be blowing, and I think we are getting a little bit of rain today, but look at that. Here we go. As you can see, we are wide awake as much as we can be this early in the morning. And we're in another in-between seasons episode of Moontime Devotions. Welcome, folks. I'm just waking up here. We were getting things ready. We've got the lighting properly assigned to each crevice and corner of our subject. And so here we are. We're so excited. We're so excited this morning because, like I said earlier, the viewers had been recommending that we keep up this style of Moontime Devotions episodes. And of course, corporate. This is behind corporate's back. So these episodes are in between, and they're on the live stream tab on the YouTube or YouTube app. And so corporate will never see these because they're usually too lazy to investigate the YouTube page very much. But if they do find it, I will definitely catch a lot of flack for it. But you know what? That's okay, because this is what Graham Smith does. He does a lot of things, risky things sometimes to keep the Moontime Devotions true to its values and to what people really want to see, to the viewers, to you guys. So we support your ideas, and we had some viewers come on and say, yes, we want more in between episodes. While we're waiting for season 2, I think people are eager too for season 2 to come out, and it's just taking quite a bit of time here because we've got the budget. We've had budget cuts, and we have a new format that we have to do things, and we have to comply with some. Oh, and then we had OSHA come in here, as I was telling you in the last one, with this chemical spill. They came in, we came in, we cleaned up had a crew come in and clean up the chemical mess, and so it's now safe to be in here. I found out it wasn't safe to be in the studio the last time we made an episode, but yet we were all here and we were okay. No one's feeling too weird yet, but we're alive and well, and we now have a clean studio, chemical wise. Uh, like I was saying in the last episode, the pyritical and the buckets just reacted with the rain because we had some storms come through, and yeah, the moisture mixed with the pyritical element created this sulfuric acid type gas, and I guess it was really deadly to breathe in, and so we haven't. I do have some rashes from it, but you know, nothing that we couldn't handle. I mean, to keep the show going, it was crucial that we got the studio cleaned, regardless of anything, and so we're uh, very grateful to get that done. And yeah, here we are, in between seasons, episode 2. We just kind of relax on these episodes, and we just there's so many beautiful things to think about, and um, our puppy's still sleeping, so our dog probably won't take much of a viewing at the moment, but she will be in the next season, of course. And oh yeah, uh, luckily this morning we didn't have to get to the studio till about 4, whereas the last episode we were here at 3:30 in the morning. We had the chemical spill, and people in the crew weren't showing up, and oh my goodness, I just told most of the crew to just take the day off today, and I would just come into the studio and just make a private little in between seasons episode for our viewers, because I just want to keep the show going. I want to keep Moontime Devotions in the epicenter of importance when it comes to this whole corporate agenda versus the creative director's agenda. And so that's what we did. We decided to do that this morning, and so we decided to do the other morning as well. And we just threw up on the show. We put it on. We put record and had it live. We did it live. We did it live, and we're doing it live right now. We're doing it live right now. And so to live live in the Moontime Devotions for these decorative days to come, folks, we've got some beautiful moments here that we get to capture on our film, and so on our new film. That's in the works. Is we've talked to some of our corporate folks, and to bring more positivity to corporate. Uh, some of my corporate guys have been talking about maybe making a film or a documentary type style video about the origins of Moontime Devotions, and I did an episode on the origins. If you go back in season 1, you can see origins, and you can see the beginning and the end and the present times of this very successful, long-running, multi-million-dollar TV show that we've graduated to YouTube since the 80s. But nevertheless, we are considering a film that we could use for everyone's viewing. And so I think it might be in the budget. It might not be. We'll see what happens. It's more of a future project or a dream of ours, I suppose. They're heavily influenced also by the direction of how corporate wants to do it. Corporal, right? We can make it corporal. Corporal Graham, Moontime Devotions. Origins, the movie, the film. And so we want to get this movie filming after season 2. We're going to see the success of season 2, and hopefully that'll give us the revenue and the up our budget to continue onward with filming a full length film of Moontime Devotions, the backstory, the beginning in the past, and how this all started way back in the 30s and 40s, back when it was on the radio. right? And then after it was on the radio, then it kind of well, it ran in the family. We had cousins and then we had uncles and running the show throughout the years. And I'm kind of going out of order here, not chronologically as I would like to, but you know, this is why we're going to do a film so we can chronologically and organized and make it more cordial for you. But nevertheless, we're waking up early in the morning here. There's lots of rich history about this show, and we look forward to sharing that with you. And of course, I'll take creative differences from corporate if I have to, when it comes to preserving the information that we need to put out. So if corporate disagrees with making a film, um, what I'm going to do is we'll just make an episode about it on season 2, and we'll just throw it. We'll just air it, put it on air as quick as we can before corporate can call us and go, no, 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 because they do. They call us from Arkansas. Little Rock, Arkansas. That's where our offices are, and we get quite a bit of backlash. Quite a bit. They still haven't seen my last episode, so that's a good thing. If they saw that last episode, I'm sure they would um, have a lot to say about Mr. Graham-Smith. And so here we are, folks, just checking things out. I'm checking my phone here. I've got a message. Make sure I don't have missing a message or an email from corporate. They send a lot of emails out for everyone to see. But it doesn't seem I've missed any. And what's that? It looks like we're 11 minutes and just shy of 12 minutes. Just, 10 seconds shy of 12 minutes on the Moontime Devotions In Between Seasons, episode 2. So we're having a season within the in between of the seasons, right? So this is season 1.5, if you will. And this will just be for our loyal viewers and subscribers who even take the effort to go into the live stream tab on YouTube, like I said, and we'll see that we have little Easter eggs, right? We got these little secret episodes, and so I want to make it a point to make these secret episodes and leave something for the viewers, and of course, eventually this will be something that only the Patreon donors will use. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens because forgive me, folks, but as you see, I get more and more opinionated versus the corporate agenda versus my um, legacy for this show. And so, properly, I think of different ideas for the show that aren't as influencing when it comes to the financial gain that corporate wants, because they got to pay their people for commissions. And anyway, and so we'll see what happens. I got to keep my big mouth shut because they're my boss and they could fire me or whatever. Um, this is something that we've been on some local broadcasts before, and this was also an issue where uh, Moontime Devotions just didn't hit the ratings, didn't hit the money enough for us to stay on the air. And so we were kind enough to have this company come in and take us. And so hopefully they stick it out with us and don't get too upset with some of the more radical ideas that we have. Because Moontime Devotions is an American TV show. Okay, so it's about freedom. Our show is very much about freedom. It's very free. And we have the creative freedom to do these sorts of things despite who might be running our financial backing. And so, that causes quite a bit of clash sometimes, but that's okay. We're going to make it work. And Moontime Devotions will go on no matter what. And as I said in the last episode, we'll make sure of it because it's my legacy and I have to keep this show running. I just do. I remember back in 43. Okay, back in 1943. World War II was in its second year, okay? Second or third year of war. This country was in their second or third year of wartime, and this show kept going on anyway. And this show was even used as propaganda. That we threw propaganda through this show to promote the winning of our war and for news segments of what was going on over there. And so this show is about freedom. This show is about uh, rights. It's our right. It's our right. It's all right to keep our rights for the Moontime Devotions legacy of a TV show to help millions. And we're going to keep it that way 100%. Um, and so yeah, these are our little secret episodes really where I get to rant about corporate because I'm not allowed to talk about corporate very much. And um, I have so many differences with corporate, and we're gaining ground and we're losing ground together. Um, it's a tough thing when you're trying to run a TV show because financially you usually have to cater to what your financial backers want, what your donors want, um, or not donors, but financial, stabilizers, if you will. Our donors even have more. We have more freedom with our donors. If this show was completely run by donations, um, we'd probably make it a farther along the way. And I think that's part of the reason the Patreon is going to be really important. I will be putting the Patreon under the Moontime Devotions copyright, though. Uh, and I don't know if corporate will like that so much. So just in case anything happens, if we get into this big legal battle over this TV show, which, I hope not, but um, we'll keep it. We'll keep the Patreon funds and we'll just keep the show running at our own pace, at our own studio with our own creative uh, decisions being made. And I think that'll continue to make the show very well. Now, on the flip side of all of that, uh, corporate has been very kind to let me, especially, being co-creator and editor and such, um, make a lot of decisions for this show and keep a lot of the information that I've wanted to keep into it. And so they've given us a lot of creative freedom, a lot more than some of the local TV broadcasting companies that we've been on. They were a little even more strict, but this company is still a corporate business. They're still obsessed with ratings, still obsessed with money, but they have given us more creative differences than some of the other companies that we've worked with. And so we're working on our own cognitive dissonance, folks, with running a very important TV show to the audience hand in hand with corporate. And so it's a tricky business. This is, trickle down economics. This is capitalism. This is running a successful TV show with extreme teamwork, with great communication, and with great team building exercises. And so we have to do the best we can to be a team, to be friendly, and to be kind to each other throughout this thing. Um, because I think there's validity to both sides of how we're running this thing. And so, I try my best to keep a fair perspective on it. As much as I complain about corporate, I also throw a lot of positivity and positive statements towards their way as well. Because though I don't think everything is about money, I do understand that without the financial backing that we have, we wouldn't be able to run this show, and that would be unfair to our loyal and beautiful viewers who are so faithful to stay on the show and to keep watching, keep watching, keep watching. And so, right, and so it's this revolving thing, but eventually Moontime Devotions will be an independent standing company of its own once more. Once again, it'll be our own trademark, uh, self um, self-efficient trademark, that is. We are in the copyright uh, forums and film. We're really excited to get this film. It's a Kings River poppy seed film about our rich background history. It's like the richest soil you find under the surface dirt. And we can really grow from there, and we will. We will grow the movie as best as we can. All we got to do is convince corporate about it. And I've got a flow chart already getting ready to show them why it would increase our ratings. I think it would completely increase our ratings and increase our donors, and this Patreon is really going to kick it up. So, folks, that's what we're working on right now. I'm fighting tooth and nail to keep this show running and to keep this show about freedom because that's where this show comes from. And so far, pretty good. Pretty good, I have to say. So far, pretty good. We're keeping things running. Um, I'm devoted to this Moontime Devotions. Whew, got itchy ears, but I'm devoted to keeping this TV show running despite chemical spills, despite lack of financial backing, despite even having a corporate company helping us with 90% of carrying this show. We're gonna keep it going. We're gonna keep it going, and we're gonna wake up early, and our crew and our budget cuts, and oh my gosh, there's so many things that can be almost kind of stressful when you're running a TV show. There's so many obstacles, but that's why I know that the legacy of the Moontime Devotions is so important, and so gradually is becoming more and more of a rarity to have a successful run. And so I'm starting to see that, and my goodness, 22 minutes in, I can spend hours on this, explaining why I think spiritually and physically and mentally and just philosophically and just for the impact of existence and it's futile that this show keeps running, and we've done a successful job of doing so. We really have. We've had a whole season with this company, which is which has been great. We've had a whole season with this company. You know, our companies keep changing throughout the years, and there's always been so much controversy. And but that's another reason why the backstory of this TV show would be so interesting to watch because there's so much that's happened. It's a story of betrayal and revenge and gain and winning and losing and associations and misinterpretations and court battles and if you knew what this show went through just for you to watch it today, you would be blown away. You'd be blown away by the amount of information and names and people involved and situations and the journey of the Moontime Devotions. And that's the coolest thing about this is you get to see the live journey as it goes on. Um, you know, this is kind of a I've heard people tell me that it's kind of like the TV show host is uh, fighting the show to keep it going, is fighting the people who are running his show to keep it going, and it very much is kind of like that. I'm carrying the American flag through here and trying to keep that First Amendment as best as I can. Um, First Amendment usually isn't typically allowed in most TV shows. I will say that First Amendment is not usually allowed in most TV shows. Those TV shows get canceled. Of course, here on Moontime Devotions, we're very gentle and kind, and we're very careful to never say anything too out there or too controversial. I think personally, sometimes we dive into talking about the states of the world, and arguably maybe I talk about this country too much and how grateful I am to be here and the freedoms and but I'm somewhat of a constitutionalist, and that's I can't help but incorporate some of that to the TV show because it's the country I live in, and I just like to promote the rights that we have in this country. Um, but like I said, corporate's been really kind to not, I highly doubt corporate's even seen a lot of these TV shows. I think they just it's almost like they just watch parts and pieces of the new episode, and they mainly are just reading the comments and asking the audience directly, because they'll pretend to be viewers, and they'll come in and they'll ask questions, and they're very sneaky. Um, but whatever I'm doing, corporate's satisfied, and all I can do is just keep on going that way. And so that's what we're doing. We're trying our best to just keep corporate happy, keep the TV show going, and yes, of course, promote the freedom of having this TV show because I think that's just so important. At least in the country I live in, it's very important to keep that um, in focus, right? That's going to be sterilized in our mind. That's an auto cook 30 seconds. Um, but yeah, folks, I mean, this is a big deal. It's a big deal. This is the Moontime Devotions with Graham Smith. This is the Moontime Devotions, folks. This is the um, convenience, safety, love, action, productivity, traveling the most rewarding way to go, state of the world or origins, dreams, and money. And just these are all themes and things that we talk about on Moontime Devotions. And we're so grateful to be able to talk about these things and keep it going. And it's just very exciting. It means so much to me. Here we go. I get emotional. I get very emotional about Moontime Devotions because this show uh, has helped so many people, and people just really seem to love it. And um, I've never been able to run this brand or this TV show successfully. In past experiences, I tried to run it and it didn't go anywhere. Um, Lack of financials or lack of things to talk about or whatever. And now that I'm a little older, we've got it. We've kicked it into gear. We've kicked in the door of the Moontime Devotions discovery. We've got new life with Moontime Devotions, new exploration, new information, new recruitment of our audience, and new ideas, and it's just new. We've got a new Moontime Devotions face and look, and we're just thrilled to be able to share it, and we've got the financials to do so, and really we've got the creative freedom. As much as I complain about not having more, um, what we have really is it's good enough, and I think that's just beautiful. I really do. I think it's beautiful. um, to kind of touch back on what I was saying just a little bit earlier about the censorship and such, yeah, Moontime Devotions doesn't really have, like, you look at some of the things on YouTube, okay? You look at some of the things on YouTube, you look at some of the things on the internet, just in general. I don't know what you're looking at, but you know what I mean when I say there's a lot of really controversial things on the internet, right? There's violent things, there's sexual things, there's um, a lot of things, and I'm not arguing whether they're right or wrong. I could care less. I'm just talking about the constitutional side of it. They're allowed to show what they want on their platforms, right? And so here we are in Moontime Devotions. We don't have any nudity, or violence, or vulgar talk, or nope. We try to keep things very clean here and pristine and sweet and loving and very accepting, right? We're very accepting and full of grace for all of that, and yet we get the most backlash. We get the most resistance to broadcasting our show, and so that's interesting. It's interesting how that is running out because you know I guess what do they say? They say sex sells, right? And so I guess that's why corporate's pissed off at us because Moontime Devotions isn't selling. And maybe it isn't sexual enough, right? Maybe we should make our show more sexual for our audiences. but it's never been our show. Our show's really never been about that. We've talked about sex as a theme and the practical side of that and the methods and what you can do to promote your sex life and all of that. Of course, that's more life advice about your sexual life, right? And those things are important to us. But when it comes to like sexualizing the show and you know, I was told to like, you could wear like a bikini or you can take your shirt off or something and I just don't know. I don't think that's going to that's just not how our show is. My goodness. It's just not we've never done anything quite like that. And we've kept the show clean. And a lot of that is because we want this show for all ages. Okay, this show is for all ages, all walks of life, all people. And so we don't want to do anything like that. It would ruin the show. And that was a conversation we had with corporate right in the beginning, actually. They said, let's make this let's sexualize this a little bit. Let's make this more, naughty. And I was the first one to stand up and say, no, folks, no, 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 no. Moontime Devotions is not that way, because we're here to help people. We're here to give life advice and um, ideas and suggestions of what you can do to live a better life. Uh, and usually that's in the moon time of devotions. That's in the moony light time, early in the morning, typically for us at least here at Moontime. And so yeah, that's always been our promotion is trying to help people, not keep them in other, not keep them focused in other areas. Let's put it that way. See, I always have to be so careful what I say on here, and I always am. I really am. And you all know what I'm really saying here. I'm implying that we keep Moontime Devotions a safe place. That's what I'm saying. Is we want to keep this a safe place for everyone as best as we possibly can, and for all ages and for all walks of life. And so we've successfully done that for a whole season, and we're going to keep fighting corporate on that, of course, because they always hint at that. They want us to pull a Netflix, to put it in modern terms. And yeah, folks, we don't want to do that. We don't want to pull a Game of Thrones on everyone. Though our views would probably go up if we did that. I will say that. Honestly, if we did some radical changes, like a Game of Thrones type series, where something new is happening every episode, our views would probably go up substantially. But we've never been interested in that, folks. We've been interested in trying to help people, and we've managed to do that. And so I'm grateful for that. And we're going to continue that self reflection, introspective, deep analysis um, on the subconscious level and on the conscious level of thinking and providing resources and verbal advice and um, verbal acknowledgement and communication open for all people in all questions. And so, yeah, that's what we're doing. It's funny when you break all of this stuff down because it really makes sense. Because we're fighting this. It's almost like TV versus the TV show, and that's always how a lot of TV shows have been. Because you have the creator, the producers, and all the people who are really excited about the show and they're loyal about it. But then you got the company, and you got the broadcasting company, and you got the CEO, and you got all the corporate guys who they have a very different view of how they want the show to be. And so, yeah, it's like a constant civil war. Running a TV show is like having a constant civil war with, and here I am just trying to have a peaceful protest without causing the first step of war. And it seems like corporate's always shooting an arrow at us. And they're well armed. And so it makes sense. And the drama and the aspects of running a TV show, my goodness, folks, it's maddening and joyous at the same time because, like I said, here we are on a free platform, being able to speak freely about what we want, and here's a place where we can speak even more freely. It's a speakeasy. This is our speakeasy, right? Corporate doesn't know it's right under corporate's nose. And if they ever find this, hopefully they wouldn't fire me, but they could. And that's okay though, because season 2 is going to make up for any folly we make, any mistake we make. Season 2 will make up for it, and we'll get the views and the ratings. Okay, corporate, if you're listening, we're going to get our ratings up, and we're get our views up. And these little secret in between season episodes, you don't even need to know about. So just forget that you even saw them. And here's hoping I don't swallow my own tongue on that one. Nevertheless, we have decorative days to come, folks. We've got Moontime Devotions coming, season 2 coming very soon now, and it's very exciting, very, very, very exciting. We've got a lot in store. We've got a lot in store for our viewers. We're going to have a whole new description. Our description of our videos is going to look totally brand new. We're going to have links for resources for mental health and for life forums, and we're going to try to get a website up about the background of our, or the backstory rather of our this is a very successful show, and we're just going to have all these links in the description, starting with the Patreon. Of course, Patreon. We're filming the intro video as we speak, and we're going to have a new description box, and we're going to have a new look for the TV show. We're going to have new cameramen, and we're going to have multiple views. Our videos are going to be completely edited in a new way, professionally. Our intros are going to be a lot more just different. You'll see, folks, the whole show is going to look completely different. And, that was part of my ranting this morning, if you will, my negativity. Forgive me if I was too negative, but I had to get that out. This show is a free place for me to express how I feel about the TV show. I'm very passionate about it. And so, yeah, if I went on a rant this morning a little bit, that's why. Because you'll see in season 2 how different it is. And I think that I won't be the only one having these thoughts of, man, what happened to the show? It's changed a little bit. But of course, we will have these in-between seasons. And I'll fight to make sure that these in-between season episodes where we can speak a little more freely with each other will remain free. Corporate wants us to put it on the Patreon, and I just told them, folks, I don't think that, because in my opinion, in my humble opinion, being the creator or co-creator of Moontime Devotions, whatever you want to put label, it doesn't matter. Being a passionate person of the Moontime Devotions, I think the Patreon should remain free. As far as I understood it, Patreon was something that you put up, and people would go on there, and they, out of their own good intentions and out of their own heart and out of their own love and passion for the TV show, they would donate, and it would be all up to the viewer, right? And instead, corporate has taken this weird view of, no, we're going to influence people to go on the Patreon, right? It's almost like we're gonna push people to go on the Patreon and give us the financial backing we need. Otherwise, Moontime Devotions is hitting the can. And so here I am sitting here, Mr. Graham Smith, right? Like, hey guys, this isn't. It wasn't even my idea to have a Patreon. And so this is I think this is part of the reason it's taking us so long to film, is because subconsciously I just don't like the way corporate is pushing such a financial pull on our audience. I don't think that's properly instituted. I just don't think it's called for. But nevertheless, we're going to play ball when it comes to the regular episodes. And I'm going to fight, though, to keep these secret episodes up and running as long as I can. But don't be surprised, folks, if one day you wake up and all of them are deleted. Because corporate will probably find it one day. They'll sniff it out, and they'll have something to say about it. I could get fired over what I'm saying today. I really could. I really could. I try not to be controversial, but as I said, when it comes to making money, there's so much censorship involved. Because when it comes to capitalism, it's just it's all about selling. And so if you don't sell, then you won't make profit. Um, and I don't know. I don't think a show with so much freedom and helping so many people uh, can successfully run, operating as a competitive entity, wanting to draw in major financial gain, right? And so that's my biggest creative difference, for my opinion, on the Moontime Devotions and how I think it should be handled. I think it should be free for everyone. Nevertheless, here I go off again and again and again. What was I getting back to? So yes, season 2. Anyway, folks, I don't want to dissuade you from watching, but season 2 will be cool. You'll still get me, you'll still get me, you'll still get our crew, thank God. Uh, you know, we're still gonna have a successful season 2. And it'll still be entertaining and it'll still be fun. We just won't be able to share as much as we'd like to, right? And so we'll fight to keep these in between seasons to share our opinions a little clearer, um, because that's important to us. But yeah, season 2 is coming. It's in the works, and we're gonna get it up and running, and it'll be very fun. It'll be very fun to join in and to see what you all think about it. Um, it will be more choreographed, which has its benefits. It'll be more staged, which has its benefits. And we're still going to keep it as free as we can, folks. We really will. I will. I'll make sure to say what I feel is right, despite it being edited. And we're going to keep it a freedom TV show, because that's very much what it is based on. And so, here we are in between seasons, figuring it out, folks. We're figuring it out in between seasons. We're doing tests, audio tests. We're making sure videos work. I guess one of our test videos got leaked onto the YouTube page. Corporate got very upset about that. I didn't even know it was on there. And so they want me to delete that. I might delete it. I might not, because there's no reason I have to, unless they really get upset about it, and then we'll have to, because we want to maintain that relationship. My goodness, how complicated it is when you're backed by a financial company who's just financially superior to you, and they want to keep things going. And you rely on them. You rely on them, and you want to get along, of course, but you rely on them, and you have to a point, kind of please them, but then also maintain a kind business relationship. And so, yeah, you really could. You could talk about it for 40 minutes, and I really have. I really, really have. My goodness. So I got to sterilize that in my mind. Folks, season 2, Decorative Days to Come, season 2. We've got a lot of new things added to the show. It's going to be so exciting. We've got new soundtracks, new filming techniques. We've got new topics to talk about. We might have a call-in number, so people could call us and talk about Moontime Devotions and how they feel about the show, and we're going to do that. And man, yeah, we're just 58 courts down that Kings River, and we're really kicking. We're really kicking. We're poppy seeds right down the election of Ovenware, and it's just whew, it's Panasonic, right? The state of the world is in a Panasonic tailspin, as I've said in other episodes, folks, and we'll be incorporating things that we've said in past episodes in every episode of season 2. We very much will, because there are decorative days to come. We're excited. We've got a lot of new things coming, and I've said that about 50 times, but we really do have a brand new look, a brand new coat of paint. As I said in the last episode, we have a brand new coat of paint for this season 2, and it's very exciting. And here I am really trying to reaffirm the positivity of all of this, the positive side of what corporate has allowed us to do. And we're grateful for what they've allowed us to do, and that they have stayed loyal to paving the way, and paying the way for Moontime Devotions to continue onward. And so, I just have to say that just in case, folks, because I want corporate to know too that I do appreciate them. I'm just passionate about this show, and I'm passionate about our business relationship, right? If I wasn't passionate about our business relationship, if I didn't take it as serious as I do, I wouldn't even have these conversations. And so this is important that I show this in some kind of broadcast, show this, express this as best as I can. Of course, I do in the conference meetings at Little Rock in Arkansas, but it's good to have it on film too, so they can go back and they can see that throughout the whole time that we've had this relationship and this TV show running, I've always maintained a stable desire to want to keep the relationship going, um, and to keep the show pleasing on all sides. And so we're doing that. We're doing that, and what we got in a little later. Gosh, it's already 5:30. Just checking my phone here, folks. Forgive me. I'm going to give a break in the action there. But yeah, it's already 5:30 in the morning, and gosh, what we went on for almost about shy of 5 minutes, shy of 50 minutes about the Moontime Devotions season 2, and our up and down conversation, up and down battles with corporate, the conversations that go along with that, and that's always a joy to talk about, just in case. Um, and it's funny. I guess people really like me talking about my even being more honest about how I feel about corporate and how the show is being run and my creative differences. So I took it upon myself to do this and film this show and explain how I feel about the whole thing. And of course, remember to help people remember that whatever creative differences you see in this future season 2 it was probably not my doing. I didn't have much say in how we had to change the show, but I'm rolling along with it and making the best of what we have with these decorative days to come. And so yeah, we've got some things in store that will restore uh, the beauty of this show, and I think that'll be very exciting. And so we're gonna stay hopeful. We're staying hopeful. Fingers are crossed. We're keeping we're keeping things steady and going along, um, despite chemical spills and all these other crazy things happening. Nothing will ever stop this show from going onward, and for that we're grateful. And so I think with that, I think that is just about a wrap. Um, Thanks, folks, for tuning in. We love you so much. We care about you so much, and we're glad that you came in. And we're glad that you, specifically you special viewers, get to see these secret videos explaining our position and our statements of grounding to keeping this show alive, our statements of legacy, of our destiny of keeping this Moontime Devotions alive, well, and fed, and watered, and cleaned, and properly distributed to each and every individual who, by doing so, is heavily touched by watching this show. And so it's all about our viewers. It's all about you guys. That's really what I'm saying, folks, is it's all about you guys. And I'm fighting to keep this show free for you because we love you. I love you. I care about you. My crew cares about you. On behalf of my crew, they say hello and happy Moontime Devotions, decorative days to come. Love, action, productivity is what I'm talking about, folks. We're really shaking the nut and we're kicking the gut and we're flipping the hamburger because this stovetop ain't cooling down for nothing. And we're never going to quit sparking and igniting that gas because we got to keep on going for the sake of you guys and for the sake of the Moontime Devotions agenda, right? Our agenda is freedom, and we'll preserve that no matter how hard it is to do so. And so this has been Moontime Devotions with Graham Smith, In Between Seasons, Episode 2. I think we can call this episode Ranting About Corporate. And so we might do so. Yeah, I think we might. And we'll just keep it up. We'll just keep it going. I think it's so fair to hear both sides. And so you'll get both sides. You'll get corporate version of season 2, and you'll get our behind the scenes version of how the show, uh, used to be run or how it should be run, or just the other side of how it could be run. And I think that's more than fair. And that's just the First Amendment being expressed on both sides. And I think that's just a beautiful thing. I think it's a beautiful synergy. And I think it could create a certain amount of unity, right? So this is our little peaceful protest video, um, if you call it that, because I think we're pretty kind about what we're saying. Um, but yeah, you never know, folks. You never know what's going to happen. You never know. But I want to keep Moontime Devotions raw and also enjoy a season 2 that's been edited and condensed down, and enjoy what we have there too. And so I think we're going to be able to pull off both. And hey, worst comes to worst, and we lose all the money, and the company goes away, and all we got left is this little trademark and this little rinky-dinky studio that we could barely afford. So be it. You know, I will continue this show if I'm homeless under a bridge, because it's that important. It's that important to you folks. You guys are my family. We love you. I care about you. I love you. I want you guys to be there with me, and I want to be there for you, no matter what happens. And I doubt things will go this south, but that's my devotion. That is my Moontime devotion to the Moontime Devotions TV show. I am thrilled, bought, and sold when it comes to keeping the show going. We will keep the show going no matter the cost. No matter the cost. No matter the sacrifice. We'll keep it going, and it will be a great blessing to everyone who watches it. Come near, come small. Come near, come far. Come tall, come small. Come around, don't come around. It don't matter at all, because this is the Moontime Devotions, and we're grateful to be part of all of the commotion. Because freedom is just too important to neglect or to throw away from the motion. Welcome to Moontime Devotions, folks. We'll catch you next time on the In Between Seasons test, episode 3 or season 2. But nevertheless, we love you. Thanks for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next episode. This is Graham Smith with Moontime Devotions. Y'all have a great day, and I'll catch up with you soon.